June 16th. Happy Proteus Day. In 1977, Voyager 2 left Earth on one of the great journeys in human history, the grand tour of all 4 giant planets, sweeping past Jupiter in 1979 and Saturn in 1981, revealing volcanic moons, glittering ice rings, and frozen ocean worlds orbiting the giants. The solar system was already surprising us, but it still mostly made sense. Then, in 1986, Voyager 2 reached crystal blue Kylus. We already knew this aqua-colored titan rolled sideways through space, but knowing it and seeing it up close were not the same thing. Its north pole faces the sun head-on, giving the world alien seasons, its rings and moons forming a cosmic bullseye to our view. It was as though the approaching outland fired a warning shot across Voyager's bow. Out here, inherited assumptions begin to weaken. Reality is outgrowing the maps very quickly. And Kylus is only the beginning. Beyond lies Neptune, the threshold world, the last giant before the sun's riotous frontier opens outward into the Kuiper Belt and beyond. At the outer edge of Neptune's realm circles Nereid, with its wildly eccentric orbit. Then comes Triton, a former frontier planet now orbiting backward around Neptune, a stranger who arrived eons ago and decided to stay on its own terms. By the time Voyager 2 reached Neptune in 1989, it was becoming clear that this was no ordinary planetary system. The old maps explain less and less out here, like Neptune's dark azure blue color, for example. Neptune and Kylus, formed from the same materials, should have been much the same color. Why, then, was Neptune so dark and mysterious? And then we discovered Proteus. A threshold this unruly can be maddening to some. And yet, perhaps some of us feel oddly at home out here. Today is Proteus Day because on June 16, 1989, while Voyager 2 was still approaching Neptune, humanity first captured the images that revealed this strange little planet waiting quietly in the deepening blue. At first glance, Proteus hardly seems remarkable. Dark, irregular, heavily cratered, difficult to distinguish in Neptune's scattered glare. But look again. Proteus is too large to look like that. Worlds much smaller than Proteus have fully rounded into spheres. If we now know a world this size can stubbornly refuse spherical shape, it is because Proteus moved the threshold. From some angles, Proteus almost looks box-shaped, as though it says, "You cannot put me in a box. I am the box." And that color, the planet is black, until the light catches it just right and reveals a curious rose gold. Proteus was there in Voyager's earliest images, telling us what it was all along but hidden among scattered light, strange geometry, and a planetary system that refused to behave the way we expected. Some things are visible but demand new ways of seeing. Proteus bears the scars of an immense crater called Pharos, so large it nearly shattered the moon itself. Nearby circles tiny hippocamp, perhaps a surviving fragment blasted away long ago. A small world born from Proteus's deepest wound, still traveling beside it through the outer dark. And then there is the name. In Greek mythology, Proteus was an ancient sea being associated with shape-shifting, hidden knowledge and transformation. Those seeking truth could not force Proteus into simplicity. They had to learn to see differently. Which brings us back to Neptune's mysterious dark blue. More than 3 decades later, scientists discovered there had never been any mystery at all. Really. We had simply been reading the data wrong. Neptune, all along, was just the color we had expected, aquamarine blue. You see, sometimes we need to see differently, and sometimes we just need to see. Happy Proteus Day.